I will say the PS5 unboxings, everyone's reaction to like how large that system was when they took it out of the box was pretty good. Everyone was just a little shocked at how big that system is. So that's one of the things I just want to take the system and just, people were asking, just make a whole video just putting it next to things to see how many GameCubes tall it is and all of this stuff. So like that's a whole video on its own, just putting it next to different household objects.
Well, I put the Series S against the 360, the OG Xbox, and the VCR, and I mean, you can see how much smaller this thing is compared to those. It is super tiny. So I think, you know, Sony, the people that have the PS5, I mean, I saw some people putting it up against like weird combinations, but like what would be really cool is if you put it up against one of those Japanese PSXs or one of the dev kits or something like that, which they are big, right? Then you get some good comparisons going on, you know.
That is a good idea. I should do that. I also was thinking about at some point plugging that DualSense controller that I got today, see if it works with the PlayStation TV.
Oh,
I'm curious about that because it works with the PS3 apparently.
You see the DualSense works with xCloud?
Yeah.
I haven't showed that off.
Yep.
It's part of Microsoft's thing where it's like, you know, Phil talked about streaming sticks potentially. What better way to be like, hey, you have a TV where you play on PlayStation and you already have a controller. You don't even need to buy ours. All you got to do is subscribe to Game Pass to play the Bethesda games if you want, or any of our other games.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably something they're going to push to do. If it already works now, just add any other native support they have to, so that button prompts and stuff show up correctly, I guess, or that it recognizes the DualSense. What'll be really weird is if they took advantage of the adaptive triggers or any of that with it too, just for fun, just to be like, yeah, we can do that too with xCloud. But yeah, I did get that DualSense. Max, you got it as well, right? We didn't get a PS5 to unbox, but we got the DualSense. So
doesn't this feel kind of heavy?
It is
in a good way, but I like how heavy it is.
It is, and I like the overall shape of the controller. It is larger than the DualShock 4 by a fair amount, but it's definitely made for people who have larger hands.
Like I don't know, I'm a baby hand bitch, and I actually think it's pretty good.
Well, the DualShock 4 is so small, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, it feels big in my hands. I will definitely say it feels big in my hands. I think the one thing I don't like, I love everything about this. The one thing I don't like is, man, the lack of color looks really weird. Like the fact that even this has no color.
Max? You're not a fan of the white.
I don't like monochrome. I don't like black and white. I think black and white looks, it seems forced aesthetic. Whereas like every other PlayStation controller has some sort of color on it, but this is the only one where they're like, no, we have moved beyond it. Like, get over yourself.
You still haven't fixed the biggest problem though with the
purple
controller.
one's just black and white for the buttons.
Wait, what's the biggest
God,
problem?
so good.
The biggest problem is the symmetrical sticks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on. At this point, we've adapted to it.
I mean, even Nintendo's got the asymmetrical sticks with the Pro controller. So,
and well, yeah, all theirs are asymmetrical now. I do think that they might do something like that, maybe a third party, because yeah, I will admit, Rand, yeah, you start to feel it, like especially as somebody who's been gaming more on my Xbox. I just put 60 hours into Watch Dogs Legion on my Xbox. Going to the symmetrical sticks again feels a little bit weird.
Yeah, but they've always had symmetrical sticks though since the early days. So that's probably at this point that's their signature. So I assume they'll just stick with it. Yeah, they'll just stick with it now. OJ's trying to say something, we can't hear him because I think he's muted.
Yeah, he is.
Why the hell am I muted? Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, I think it makes, like, people have been playing it since day one, though. Well, not day one, but on PlayStation for a long time.
The Ape Escape days, man.
So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, it's not as good. Like, especially, I think that it's better with shooters. Shooters with when it's like tilted like that, I like it. I like shooters better, but I think with most other games, it's fine.
Yeah.
For me, at
least.
Yeah,
it's fine. I don't know. I'm curious of other configurations. I honestly love the feel of this so much in my hands. It makes me curious, like, what other.
I got this controller, and it has the same.
Oh yeah.
Ones like that. So that's the 8-bit-o. So I've been using that for like PC a little bit too. So.
That's closer to the DualSense now that I'm thinking about it than any other controller probably. That's right there with it.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like when I saw the the videos and the unboxings and some people showing off the controller.
Yeah.
It's almost identical.
The DualSense it's quieter too, by the way. The button presses on it than in the DualShock 4.
I'm so lazy. I could go get one of the PlayStation 5 controllers, but I just don't feel like driving.
I want to know how much
just ninja run over there.
You're going to get out of one of those things.
How much? What's that?
The battery life on one of those.
That's a good question because it works. It works on PC out of the box.
My guess is with all the stuff I've been reading, all the journalists' tweets. The one game they're allowed to talk about right now is the Astros Playroom, and it sounds like sometimes every single one of the gyros inside the controller will be working at once. I kind of have a feeling that maybe it'll be like 6 or 7 hours of battery life if it's rumble and a lot of haptic. I kind of get that feeling.
I'm hoping it gets at least 10 to 15 is what I'm hoping.
So the counter argument that I was going to bring up to y'all that I was curious is, what if we get, because it doesn't, supposedly the front of the console is going to have a quick charge port. So what if this has 6 hours of battery life, but 20 minutes of charge time? Would you really even care?
It's a 1,560 milliamp hour battery, because I opened it up today to look and check everything out.
Okay, explain that to me like I'm dumb.
What you would probably do is if it was completely dead, and that was a quick charge port on the front, and you had the correct cable and all of this, because some cables are junk. Let's say they have like a specific one that you would use, or just a higher quality one. You'd probably be able to go from like 0 to like 30% or 40% in like 15 minutes or something like that, right? So then all of a sudden you'd be able to play for another 3 hours or something like that. Is what I'd be thinking, because the way it works is it's faster to charge from 0 to like halfway, or 0 to 60%, but then like the last quarter takes a lot longer to charge for your phone or anything else.
That's weird. I've never heard that before, but that makes sense. Yeah, once it's said, yeah, it makes sense.
But they have that. I like they have the wireless, or the charging dock that I really like, and I gotta find that for the controllers. I like the way it looks, and I already use one now for all my controllers, so I would just probably have that sitting down and just drop it on there when I'm done. So, but the DualSense, it's a pretty good controller. I got to use it actually on a PS5, because the adaptive triggers do not function unless the system tells them to, the way it's set up inside. I'll have a whole video on that Sunday, and I put up a video on Twitter showing how the adaptive trigger works, but if it doesn't have a signal from the system to actually activate, then it won't work. So we don't know what the adaptive triggers even feel like right now, Max.
Yeah, right. It's all theoretical to us. I mean, they look beautiful though. I definitely think they feel different. You can feel the extra stuff in there not activated.
There's a little more tension to them than the DualShock 4 slightly, so but we'll see. You know, only in another 2 weeks or so till the PS5 is out. So
when's the launch date? Sorry,
the 12th.
The 12th for the PS5.
Yeah, and it's the 10th on the Series X.
11 days till Xbox.
Oh, so it's like the same week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, sweet, man.
That's gonna be a good week. I have so many games.
That's gonna be a good week.
Unless you're in Europe, and that's the 19th, I believe.
Oh yeah, my friend Mr. Pio was complaining about that on Twitter. He's like, this isn't fair.
But it looks like everyone or a lot of media has the Series X, the Series S, and now the PS5. So another week or so until embargoes start going up everywhere, and we'll see actual reviews for games, and hopefully Spider-Man and Demon's Souls get reviews ahead of launch as well. So exciting stuff though.
I've seen with those leaked pictures, it looks like they're already full blown playing Spider-Man.
Dude, did you see that leaked video of Spider-Man loading in from the menu?
When you DM that to me, I watched that like 10 times, because it's just the guy being like, here is from dashboard to game in a second. Oh.
Dude, it was so fast. Yeah, so the load times are there. It's basically gone now, so that's really cool.